right, welcome back, everybody. Thank you for your patience. We're going to go into a TVT now to see who's actually going to make it into that round of 8 slot. This is Bunny versus ByuN. I got to say that, the TVT with Bunny and GuMiho was kind of crazy, right? Like, two very kind of almost identical games, right? It basically Raven tank pushes, crushing through with somebody that doesn't have any disables to kind of counterplay that. Didn't have any way to really kind of combat the Ravens at all. And then, of course, a crazy proxy. In some ways, I feel like ByuN might be the favorite here just because he looked so strong. Not because of any kind of strategy, so to speak, but his execution was so clean. And, you got to remember TVT, like I was saying earlier today, it's kind of like the two glass cannon armies duking it out. You take a critical amount of damage as a Terran player, and you'll just snowball to your death. And I don't know. I mean, ByuN just looking so hot in those games, completely on top of everything he needed to do. Perfect control. Feel like maybe he's the favorite here? Well, let's see. I'm more than fine being wrong.
I think your instinct is right. Coming into GSL Season 2, and the qualifiers actually, ByuN faced Bunny in a lower bracket qualifier bracket with only Terrans. They were the two to emerge. They had the best TVT, but ByuN did defeat Bunny 2-0. We're going to find out right now if Bunny can get his revenge or if ByuN is going to be the first player to advance out of Group B into the round of 8. Map 1 is ley lines. It is starting now. Let's get to it. Didn't quite time that right.
Yes. Yes.
That's
let's
the first
get to
time,
it.
man.
All right,
It's the first time I've fumbled it so far
Nice.
this year.
You got to have at least one fumble a show, man.
The thing is, I'm watching the game load in. I think I should be listening to the Korean cast.
That's the trick. That's the trick.
All
So,
right.
we're in this one, guys. This is, who is this, actually? Okay,
This
it's
is-
Bunny in the bottom left and ByuN in the top right.
Ugh.
Now,
Scrappy start to this game.
so no proxies so far. But let's see what kind of games we're going to have. Now, we had the mech game before. I don't know if we're going to have mech unless it's GuMiho playing this time around. But let's see. Now that we're kind of back in StarCraft 2, we just wrapped up Season 1. We're already here in the middle of Season 2 now. It's interesting to kind of, depending on what pairings we have in that given day, to kind of look at what the matchup looks like now.
Yeah.
This is one of the coolest things about online multiplayer games is when everybody's on playing against each other the whole time, the meta and how people are approaching it, you can see it change.
No longer 12 years later. One day. Welcome back.
That's right.
Remember the Archon toilet?
Never forget the Archon toilet.
Dude, that was a great era.
That was
Terrans and Zergs won't agree, but that was the golden age of StarCraft 2.
that was
the Archon
that was
toilet.
fun. I think you want it when you're making an RTS. Just put a bunch of crazy stuff in and see what people come up with.
Squirrel
Archon toilet.
MVP for my money is still just the best GSL
That's
finals
probably
of all time.
that's probably the most iconic moment in StarCraft 2.
Yeah.
I think ever. I mean, there's definitely been some crazy plays. The thing about the Archon toilet, though, was that they actually had to get rid of that because it was a problem fundamentally.
Yeah, it was too strong.
If you make a portal that sucks everything into it, and then when they pop back out, the Archons are just on top of it. That's pretty crazy. But I'm glad we had it when it was here.
All right, so ByuN in this game actually going for 2 Rax Reaper in base. This has gone unscouted, both players playing no scout up until this point. Bunny with a low ground command center. ByuN's going to be, I think, really happy with this with the 2 Rax Reaper opening. And SCV is not long for this world. Second Reaper here for ByuN, about halfway across the map, as you can see on the mini-map. And I'm imagining once we have a couple more Reapers come in, there should be a breaking point where ByuN's able to get something done. For now, Bunny, just because he has a closer reinforced distance, does have a pretty good chance to hold on. Hellion also done. Is there actually going to be a window? TVT is one of these matchups that I'm not afraid to admit. I'm out of my elements a little bit with the analysis, but I feel like these 3 Reapers could probably get something done. Oh man, Bunny a little bit caught out by surprise. That first Reaper really low on HP. ByuN, it's a very delicate dance. You don't want to take splash damage from that Hellion. You want to have it only hit one of these Reapers. Oh man, the trade for Bunny, so good. That Hellion just stationary like a turret, kept dishing out the damage with a second Hellion joining in. That SCV did not fall, in fact. That Reaper also going to die. Oh, what a coup here in the early game for Bunny.
That Reaper looked like it was like the DeLorean going back in time. It just jumped off the cliff and then disappeared.
Man, I really, looking at that 2-Rax Reaper opening, I thought that ByuN was going to be able to get a little bit more done, but it just not did pan out that way.
Yeah, that was a pretty incredible hold there by Bunny. And I mean, certainly with the 3 Reapers, it looked like, okay, if you control this right, you should come out on top, and then get an execution on the SCV at the natural, which is just going to put you eons ahead long term. But great control there. Good fake outs by Bunny. Good baits.
Yeah, good fake outs, and also the Hellions on at least one of the shots, maybe even 2, were able to get like collateral damage, splash damage on the.
So right now, look, we're like halfway through today on some level, right? Mm-hmm. It does seem like Bunny has come in with the same formula again in TVT. He's going for the Ravens. He's going for disables. Probably going for a push. The question is going to be, is ByuN prepared for that? Because I think GuMiho was just too greedy in the 2 games he lost. I mean, he was literally getting attacked, and he started a 4th command center to float, which just didn't look right, and it turns out it wasn't right because he was eventually toppled by the push.
And look at this setup we have coming from ByuN. This is a really interesting composition. By the way, just as you called, Tasteless, 2 more factories going down for Bunny, so yeah. Very similar build to Game 2 and Game 3 versus GuMiho.
I'm going to try to look at Bunny's perspective a lot here, because I want to see, is this just literally only 1 barracks the whole time?
Yeah,
it's just a
basically a mech
push. Yeah.
But ByuN's doing something different. He's got a Liberator going into the main base of Bunny, and his army is very mobile. He still has 3 Reapers with his Force, a Hellion, and 2 Cyclones. These are all very fast, and Bunny gets caught outside his natural expansion. That Cyclone instantly gets taken out. I think that Siege Tank barely covers the entrance to the base, so ByuN cannot skirt around.
Now the Liberator's going to get set up over here. And with the tank up there, he probably can't push in. Keep in mind, this army that's very mobile that ByuN has could be used to counterattack as well. So, you know, I like what ByuN's doing, because it's hard to push if you have, like, the threat of a Liberator or a Cyclone run-in. If you try to push out, you're never going to get to do that push that you want to do.
Yeah, and if ByuN can keep those units alive, by the way, disable this Liberator. Marines just slowly running in.
Oh my God! Move the Viking!
No,
move the Viking!
Move the Marines over there! I mean, it's still going to go down, but now a couple Marines are going to die. They all got log jammed in the mineral line.
And ByuN's going to take his 3rd base. But we know this push is coming.
We have Blue Flames coming in for Bunny, so this is a little bit of a mix-up. It's less Cyclone heavy. It's be more Hellion heavy.
So he's going to go for, like, God, it looks like it's a StarCraft 1 TVP comp. You know what I mean? It's like Tank Vulture. We got Tank Hellion here.
ByuN is basically only making Marines and tanks back at home. I'm wondering how this is going to go, because Hellions, obviously, they're very fragile units, but so are the Marines, especially when you're hitting them with Blue Flames. These kind of interactions are things that I feel like I don't usually get to see in TVT. 20 Marines right now to 7 Blue Flame Hellions. More Siege Tanks in production. Bunny is so prepared to intercept this drop, by the way.
Oh my God, he's got to run.
Dude, if ByuN reacted any slower, those medevacs are dead.
He would have lost so much supply for nothing. But again, you know, the medevacs, they get away. He can always drop in again later. This tank push is going to come out here. Now, the Cyclones and the Reapers are here to spot. So this may prompt the medevacs to pick up and then go right back in where they left off. And in fact, that's happening right now. So he's going to move in now. This is a timing that's going to match with Blue Flame. Now, again, it's going to be about the Ravens disabling the tanks. And, oh, man, this is, like, not a well-defended location. Here comes the drop down to the main.
Yeah, these Marines going to stim and get a lot of damage done right now. 2 Siege Tanks in position. They will be able to get repaired. So, actually, that just deflects this drop entirely. Oh, even the Vikings coming back. Those medevacs are going to get cleaned up. ByuN has to lift off his 3rd command center as Bunny's entrenched himself just to the west of that position. Dude, Bunny with his 2 factory or 3 factory push. their Archon
name is ByuN. Yeah.
No, but Bunny with his push has been just getting win after win so far here in the GSL. Now, I mean, this game is still far from over, but these early skirmishes just really showing the potency of this 3 factory opening. We've seen a couple of different variants, more Cyclones, this time with Hellbats. Air superiority reigning supreme right now for Bunny, able to disable these 2 Siege Tanks. Luckily, they were able to unsiege, so they can retreat behind the tank line. There is a bunker position, too, but, I mean, Bunny, with the air superiority, with the greater number of Siege Tanks, This army is actually just so strong, Tasteless. 10 siege tanks, 10 Hellbats, all 10 Vikings. God. What do you do here?
Dude, this is the
ByuN.
build, guys. ByuN, let me tell you something. Bunny has just got the build right now.
He's
got the sauce that apparently we're all supposed to be running in TVT. By the way, this build does not have to respect anything about your position in TVT. TVT is a very positional matchup, right? I mean, it's so on its face, obviously strong. The disables, being able to push with the tanks, and having the air dominance with the Vikings. There's a counterattack coming here, but I don't think he can get in here. Now, the command center's in kind of a weird spot. Oh, my God, this never landed.
No, it can't even. Dude. It can't land. There's no spot to land.
Yeah, it's too big. All right, I think he's got enough SCVs. Maybe not.
It's like barely taking damage, but
yeah. Over time, this one Marine. Oh, but the tank covers it. Imagine how much money you're spending repairing this. And I almost feel like you can't quite move it too much where the SCVs can't get underneath it.
Set it to like the main base or something.
Yeah. No, he's going to lose it. He's got to stop. He's going to stop. You got to like stop and let him repair up until like halfway health and then do it.
I'm just watching the minerals for ByuN during all this, and they are not going up. Yeah. It's just all going
just completely draining his bank account to keep that up. Can he land it there? Yeah, I think he's got it.
But look at this air superiority. There's basically no more Marines over here in the main base of ByuN. Bunny is literally parking his Vikings over the siege tanks of ByuN in his natural expansion.
No respect. So it's kind of a funny spot. ByuN is like, was camping outside of that base. He's not really getting much done, and he's going to pull away. And as he's pulling away, Bunny's going to span out on the map here and take a third. Were all the SCVs killed? I saw SCVs run away from that like 3 o'clock base, but I didn't see where they went. Were they all just killed off, or?
SCV accounts are still pretty even, so I think if some went down, probably not too many. And ByuN going to try coming down with a surround. It's actually a really good move. Those siege tanks, the damage is spread pretty thin across the top and the bottom side. The Hellbats also taking there on the bottom. It's a good win for ByuN, but the problem is that that's not Bunny's full army. He's been macroing at home. He has an armada ready to come to the natural expansion here at ByuN. I mean, great engagement for the Red Terra player, but I don't know how you deal with this follow-up attack that Bunny is about to throw at him.
I think that we're about to see the execution. There's just way too much for Bunny. Like, it was funny because, like, as he was winning that fight, ByuN was, it's like you just see that the Vikings are now going to kill off all the medevacs.
Oh, no!
Oh, no!
The most ill-advised medevac path of all time. Dude, Bunny just has the build. This is crazy.
Yeah. Bunny knows he's... I'm telling you, man, this guy's got the sauce. This guy's got the formula. He knows exactly how to win TVT right now. I'm loving it. I'm loving the Raven investment early on, the tanks coming out, and then the Hellions. And then he goes into the blue Hellbats, basically.
It is
very cool.
Yeah, I mean, when you have that many Hellbats, especially blue flame Hellbats paired with those siege tanks, they're actually just absorbing so much damage. It makes it really hard for the Marines to jump on top of the tanks. And as we all know, ByuN loves to play these very Marine-heavy compositions. So from Bunny just making the adjustment versus GuMiho, where he played a little bit more Cyclone-heavy, and then coming here against ByuN and playing a little bit more Hellbat-heavy, these little tiny tweaks that he's making to the build, tailoring them to the opponent, but still keeping the same skeleton of the 3 factories, the mass siege tanks, the 2 Ravens, the air superiority. This is really cool. I kind of want Bunny to do this again here on Persephone. I'm curious what I think he's going to do to stop it.
I think literally Bunny just has to keep doing this until he's in the round of 8. I mean, it looks really good. Like, sometimes I'm looking at a game and I'm like, I want to do this build. This looks so strong. Guys, game 2 is ready. Let's go to Persephone now. Okay. Oh, we got a SCV on the map, and that's ByuN's SCV. And it looks like a second one's going to come out. And, yeah, I mean, he's going to be able to make these right outside of the main base, excuse me, here, of Bunny. So it's going to be 2 SCVs, so double racks. There were periods we had triple racks, but this is not going to be one of those games.
Usually this is Reapers. We did see Bunny go for double barracks Marauder, which did not go very well.
Was that GuMiho or was that Bunny?
I think that was the GuMiho one with the Banshee, didn't he?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
Now you have me doubting myself.
No.
It's always when you have this many Terrans in a group. No, it's very hard.
You can start to mix up who did what in what game. So, I mean, look, when you have builds like this, it's all going to come down to the first few seconds of the interactions. If you can snipe their Reaper and start to snowball your Reapers into their base, you're going to win the game.
Reaper does get queued up here for ByuN, so will not be that Marauder proxy. Second gas also getting ready to be taken. Money has no idea, by the way. I think even in game number 1, neither of these guys scouted particularly early.
Right.
And so there's a chance that Bunny just continues to develop and he's completely blind until the Reapers jump into his main base.
I actually thought that was Bunny's SCV going up there. I was like, oh, I didn't see that leave his base. Okay, so this rush is about to start. And it's all going to be about keeping that first Reaper alive, trying to use SCVs to body block. You're okay. Oh, what's up?
Well, Bunny knows.
All right.
Is it too late, though? SCV's already getting pulled. He knows he has to be able to intercept these guys right on top of the ramp. ByuN is setting the first Reaper down to the natural expansion ramp instead of the ledge where the Reapers can jump up. I think anticipating this move. Oh, I love this on the high ground, just splitting the attention of the SCVs. He's going to be able to jump on the Reaper because of it.
And he can't quite get that Reaper. The Reapers are so low, he might want to leave and wait for the third and the fourth Reaper to come into play. Remember, they regen, so yeah, I mean, he's going to try to loop around again here.
I think this is really smart. Just completely running around the SCV pull with them, you know, holding that top side. Grenades really good right now for ByuN, but a lot of these, oh man, that Hellion shot, I think hit all 3 Reapers, very low on HP. Yeah. One of them almost died.
So he killed off one.
I think Bunny's done. I think he's stabilized.
Yeah. And remember, Reapers, I mean, nothing falls off faster as an investment than a Reaper as longer the game goes on. Like, they don't have any utility. So, like, he's really forcing his way into either a win or a loss very soon here. Whereas Bunny's playing a more straightforward approach. ByuN is going to try to go around to the front, gets cold feet, backs up. And I think Bunny did it.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, we're just going to transition. Yep. That was looking scary for a moment there.
Oh, yeah.
When ByuN had that first Reaper go around the natural ramp and pair up with the second one, jumping into the main base and was able to snipe the Reaper of Bunny, I thought that momentum would be building really fast. But as it is, Bunny just with great control, able to barely hold on by the skin of his teeth. Now both players macroing back up. ByuN going to use one barracks to scout and send one back home. Confirms a command center. Sees a starport, and I think he might be fishing for these Marines right now with those Reapers.
Yeah, the Reapers got to keep an angle where they can't. Okay, now those Hellion shots are god tier. He's going to clean that up. Beautifully done. And we're in a game where ByuN is going to be very uncomfortable for the next couple minutes.
Command center significantly faster here for Bunny, as is the tech. Already Ravens in production.
Yep. And I mean, there's just not much right now for ByuN. But of course, this is what happens when you proxy racks and fail. And so he's going to get his base up here, but we're going to have more SCVs coming down now. And it's our old friend the Raven. He's going to go for the exact same stuff. I love landing this, by the way, here. It's like, let's get some value out of this building.
Manor barracks.
Yeah, the manor racks at the expansion. Yeah, I mean, I'm in love with this style of play today.
Yeah, Bunny's been showing some really cool games with his 3-factory push. And the Cyclone positioning is fantastic, too.
Yeah, I mean, everything is so preemptive. I love it. Third base, I like this from ByuN. He might just die, though, but I think this is kind of the only way to play when your rush fails, is to do something at an elevated level of risk. It's either that or you're going to play from behind. And Bunny didn't actually check, by the way.
Yeah, I think it's just so bold to throw a third command center down on site.
On site, yeah.
That
naked third base on site is Terran, man. Yeah. One SCV out there building the whole thing.
Not even on Bunny's radar. The double factory is coming in, so we're going to have that push again coming out from Bunny. And actually, for that reason, I kind of like this third CC timing for ByuN, because this one might actually start to pay dividends before the push hits. You know, sometimes when you go for this later third command center, you invest all this money, but you don't get the mules, you don't get the extra SCVs, you don't get the mining because it just comes online too late. In some way, getting the faster third command center could be a boon here for ByuN. He might just have a little bit more units because of it. But my question is, how are you going to navigate your unit composition here as ByuN to try and stop such a strong force that Bunny is bringing to the table? Because these armies, they are formidable. It's siege tanks, it's Hellbats, it's 2 Ravens with mass Vikings. Nothing there dies easily.
Okay, he's moving out now. He's going to pick this up and head south to try to get some value, some damage off. Kind of didn't expect to see the Raven actually go all the way across the map like that. You don't want to lose that. I mean, that's like your most important unit. And we've got the 3 factories. I mean, it's going to be the Bunny push.
Yeah.
Oh,
whoa!
what?
ByuN, what a catch! Gets the Raven in the middle of the map.
Oh my
Even
God, it
escapes!
gets away. Target it.
Man, that is nice there. Oh, Cyclo goes down there.
He's
right
gonna get the
at
medevac
end.
too.
Oh no!
Oh, I feel like actually
it was so good
Bunny
until
got
it
like the
wasn't.
upper hand here. Now the tank push is coming out. Spotter racks, by the way, being moved with this. I don't know if that was in the last push, but I like that too. Bunny push coming. By the way, Bunny was always the guy, in my head I'm like, this is the guy that always picks up his 2 tanks with his medevac when he's going to push, like to move him around a little bit quicker. Now it's all about the Ravens and the tank pushes.
Yeah, Ravens and Vikings
Nice.
too. Sable comes in on the first siege tank, and Bunny's just going to set himself up right in the natural expansion. SCV's getting pulled here for ByuN. The Vikings have landed. SCV shot, or siege tank shots on the SCVs, getting a lot of damage. Done this mineral line already wiped out. The Hellbats just destroying these SCVs. They get melted. Entire mineral line is gone here for ByuN. I think Bunny is only just now realizing there's a 3rd base on site too. He's
Yeah.
going to send 2 Hellbats that way. The economy for ByuN is in shambles. And the standing army that Bunny has is just eclipsing anything ByuN can muster at this stage. Bunny even throwing down 2 more factories back at home, building a 3rd command center on site.
It's an execution down here.
Oh, this is a painful death for those SCVs, just getting slowly roasted by flames.
So, I mean, he's at 37 workers, but he's going to be down a lot more than that because these SCVs are never going to see the light of day. And, I mean, look, the 3rd base is going to be made here for Bunny. He's always getting that 3rd base late, but, you know, it's because he's packing such a punch with these pushes. I love the landed racks.
Making one
with
Marine. Why not?
Yeah. Just in case he loses the Viking edge, that Marine can shoot up and drive those Vikings away.
See, this build from Bunny, just unstoppable so far today. It's looking like it's going to be 4-0 with this build.
Yeah, I mean, this guy is apparently the TVT god. How would he do against Maru? How would he do against, you know, the other Terran players that we've got here in Korea? I mean, could you know, because this looks just so good. I think this is about to be the killing blow. SCV's pulled. Not enough. Bunny's build looking just unstoppable.
There is just so
GG.
much firepower behind this push, and Bunny is going to ride his TVT expertise to a round of 8
Look at that smile.
berth. I mean, he earned it, man.
Yeah.
These are some really sick pushes. Just fantastic games from Bunny. Wow.
That was cool.
Yeah, we learned something today.
Well, he just clearly has this approach that, you know, everybody else has been doing stuff different. This is why it's always special when you have a day that's going to be a lot of like a certain matchup, is you get to do these deep dives and really compare and contrast how, you know, these guys are playing. ByuN looks pretty beat up. He's always been one of our more emotional players. Obviously, he probably wanted to just get out of this group as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, that's not happening.
All right, interview now with Bunny. Well, congratulations, Bunny, on your victory. It's been a while since we've seen you in the GSL Code S. But here in Season 2, you've been able to make it to the quarterfinals. How are you feeling? Well, you know, I couldn't qualify for the GSL last season, and it was kind of a hard time for me not being able to be in Code S, but that gave me a lot of motivation coming into Season 2. So, you know, I just kept practicing StarCraft, and coming in today, I'm just very happy to have made it to the round of 8. Well, you know, historically, ByuN, it feels like he has had your number But today, just build-wise, you were on another level today. You were able to win 2-0 over your opponents. Yeah, even though I'm younger than ByuN, I feel like my control is still worse than him. So historically, ByuN has been doing better than me in the head-to-head matchups. So coming into today, I was trying to recall the moments where I actually did find success versus ByuN, and I'm happy to be able to beat him again today. Well, in 2 games versus GuMiho and in 2 games here against ByuN, you use very similar builds, only small adjustments. Do you think that you're starting to make a new meta here in TBT? Well, I had 15 hours of flights back and forth going overseas for tournaments, and so I spent that time just brainstorming builds. And once I finally landed back in Korea, I practiced the build that I had brainstormed on those flights. And it actually worked really well, and I was able to showcase it here today. That is so cool. Well, we've heard that you were the practice partner with Hero for his finals match versus Cure. You're probably going to face him in the quarterfinals. Are you feeling confident in that matchup? After DreamHack, I actually felt like Terrans shouldn't be whining anymore. I think as long as I practice hard, I feel like I'm going to have a very good chance to beat him or anybody else. Last season again, I was pretty disappointed with my performance, and I'm still very grateful to my fans for supporting me through that. And now that I'm back in the GSL Code S, hoping to show good games. And he certainly hit it today. Those were some really cool pushes. We saw like the same build basically 4 times, but I'm really happy we did. That was so much fun.
Well, clearly that's the way to do it, man. Guys, we're going to go to a short break. We'll be right back.